Sandy, welcome to the Cloud Factory. Today I'm going to show you how to make an horizontal panels Anarkali dress, as you can see on the screen. I hope you like this dress, so if you want to know how to make it, stay with me and let's make it together. First of all, you have to cut the top part of your dress. You can use the same pattern we make in my previous video. If you don't have it, I will give you the link in the description of this one. So this time I want a shorter top part, so I will go up by 3 inches and trace this line. I have here 4 layers of fabric and it's folded by here. So I will pin my pattern and I will mark the starting point and the final point of the line I marked before. Then I will cut it considering 1 centimeter for stitches. Oh my god, this dog. Then I will trace the line and cut also by here. If you want your panels starting from your waistline, don't do anything, just use your pattern as it is. And here I have my 2 top pieces. Now I will take the length of the baseline of my top piece and I will keep it in mind because I will use it to make my panels. The most important and most interesting thing about horizontal panels Anarkali is you can add as much flare as you want. So let's see the 2 extremes here so you can understand better how it works. First option we have here is you can make like a sort of A-line dress in shape, and second option is a dress as wide as a circular or semicircular one. Obviously you can choose how much flare you will add to your dress or how wide it will be, and I will explain you how. In any case, the panels in this dress are only strips of fabric with the same height, but the only particular thing is one strip of fabric or one panel is larger than the previous one. And the more difference you have between the panels, the more flare your dress will have. So let's see how to make the first option of dress, the A-line shaped. And the first thing you have to do is measure the length of the skirt part of your dress, means from the baseline of your top part to down as much as you want. In this case for me is 37.5. Then divided by the number of panels you want. I want 5 panels, so I divide 37.5 by 5 and the result was 7.5. I will add 1 inch for stitches, so the height of my panels it must be 8 inch 0.5. And obviously every panel must have the same height. Now let's see how to calculate the length of every panel. The base contour of my top part is 37 inch, so I will add 5 inch for my first panel length and that will give me 42 inch. I will add 5 inch more every time to the next panel. That means for the next panel I will add 10, then I will add 15, then I will add 20, then 25, and in the same way I will construct my next panels. Now for the dress number 2, the base contour of your top is obviously the same and the height of the panels you will calculate in the same way, but the difference is you will add more than 5. This time you will add 10 inch more every time, or 15 if you want even more flare, or 20 or as much as you want. Remember, the more you add every time, the more flare you will have. So for my first panel this time I will add 10 inch. For my second panel this time I will add 20. For the third one I will add 30, then 40, then 50. And repeat the same process as many times as many panels you want. Now let's see the trick to stitch it. First of all you have your top part, and in the baseline you will have obviously a straight line and you will not gather it or do anything, keep it like that. So the trick is the baseline of every piece and every panel, it must be straight, don't do anything, but the top part of every panel, it must be gathered, you know. So the baseline of my top is normal, so the top part of my first panel I will gather it. Then the baseline of this panel I will keep it like this, and the next panel I will gather it in the top part, and the same process every time. Now we are ready to make the real one. First of all, I will cut my first panel, so mark the height and the length as I explained you before. Here I am adding only 5 inches to the baseline of my top part, and I will cut my first panel. Here you have it. As you can see, here is larger, about 5 inches, considering my top part. Next I will trace the same height for my next panel. Now 10 inches larger than the previous one, and cut it. And here you have it. Now it's bigger than the previous one. Next panel is 15 inches larger than the previous one. And the same, but the only thing is my fabric was not wide enough for this panel, so I have to construct it with 2 pieces like this. And for the further panels my fabric will not be enough width, so I will cut 2 strips of fabric to construct my full panels. This is one part, and this is the rest of my panel. Then I will sew it by here to construct my full piece. The next one is the largest one, so I will need also 2 pieces. And here you have it. Now let's cut the interface for our neckline design. Pin a piece of interface on the top of your top piece like this. We will make a boat neckline, so I will mark 2 inches starting from the shoulder part in this way, and in the center I will mark also 2 inches. You can add 3 inches and fold it by the middle and trace this curved line to get the same shape on both sides. Cut it, and there you have it. Now trace this line to construct your neckline. Keep the same width, you can measure it if you want, but keep in the shoulder part have 1 centimeter for stitches. I didn't do it here, so I had to fix it later, you don't forget. And now I will cut the border for my dress. I want my border on 3 inches and it will be folded, so I will cut a strip of fabric of 6 inches in the same length of my last panel, means the biggest one. Now I will cut a piece of paper enough to cover it my interface, and let's work with the neckline first. You have to, as you know, because you saw it in my other tutorials, attach it to the piece of fabric, stitching by the inner line and also by the outer line in this way. Then cut the excess of fabric. Now facing right side with the wrong side of my top piece, I will stitch by the inner line. I will make these cuts and fold it to the right side of my top piece in this way. Now I will make some embroidery on it. And there you have it. Now I will use this bias binding to attach it in the border of my neckline. You can check how to attach it in detail in my video about how to make a kurti with Chinese collar. You have to unfold it, stitch it in the border of the neckline, then fold it by the middle and pin it in this way, and give a stitch in the edge or the border of the bias binding to finish your neckline, and you will have something like this. Now I will cut some bias strips of fabric because I will add some piping in the back neckline and also the sleeves. I want my dress to be sleeveless. Just fold the fabric by the middle and attach it in the right side of your piece. Then fold it to the other side and give a stitch in the right side of your armhole in this way, and there you have it. Do the same with the other armhole and also the back neckline. You will have this. Now facing right sides of the fabric, we will close the shoulder parts and also the sides of your top piece. And the top part of your dress is ready. You can also add the sleeves if you want. You can check how to make it in my other videos. Now I will show you how to gather fabric because you will need to know this to attach your panels. Set the tension of your machine in 2 or less. Choose a straight stitch and the length of the stitch, set it in the maximum, and we will give a stitch here in the part you want to gather. Keep this thread long, and once you finish the stitch, also keep this thread long. Then separate the bottom thread and the top thread, and then we will pull the bottom thread, that means the bobbin thread, to start gathering your fabric. Is so easy, as you can see here. So you only have to pull the fabric on the thread, and there you have it. Your fabric is gathered. Now in both sides of your fabric, make a double knot with your both threads and cut the excess of thread. And in this way you will gather the top part of every of your panels. So let's start. I will attach my first panel in the baseline of my top piece. So first of all, I will gather my panel in the top part, the same way I explained you before. And I will gather until I get obviously the size of my top piece. but I will consider here a space for stitches because this I have to close it in this way. And once you close it, turn it to the right side. Match it with your top piece in this way. And now attach it stitching by here. And it's done. Now let's attach the next panel. Same process. First I will gather it from here. Once I reach the length of my previous panel, I will close it. Then I will attach it. And there you have it. Now we will give a stitch here and here, and in the same way with my all panels. This will keep the panels on its place. Your dress will not look puffy, so it's so important for this dress to make this stitch. For my next panels, which are bigger, first I have to construct it, join the two pieces I got. Then gather it in the same way in the top side until you reach the length of the previous panel. And then attach it. Give the stitch here. In the very edge of the join line of the two panels. Here I am constructing my next panel, gathering it and attaching. Giving the final stitch, and there you have it. Now for my last panel, oh, he's sleeping because I am working so late at night, it's 3 AM. Okay, for the last panel, first we will obviously construct it, join the two pieces we got to get the full length of my strip of fabric, and the same with the border. Remember, these two have the same length. Then facing right sides of your fabric, we will attach it sewing by here. Once you finish, unfold it like this, and then fold the border by the middle, and we will give a stitch here. You can give a stitch also in the edge of the border if you want. I will keep it like this. And then work with the panel as I explained you before. Gather it. And attach it to your dress. And there you have it, your dress. Your horizontal panels Anarkali is ready. I am only giving the final stitch here in my last panel, and it's done. My dress looks like this, and I look like this wearing it. I hope you like this tutorial. If you think it's useful, don't forget to share it with your friends. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. In the description box below this video you will find the link to download the patterns for this dress. Also, you will find the links to my networks because I would love to see your creations if you decide to make this dress. Happy stitches for everyone, and I will see you the next time.